guys, welcome. This is Chris Cox. We're going to do a Judas Priest guitar lesson today for Headed Out to the Highway. This song is tuned in standard, so if you want to play along with me or the album, just tune to A440. If you like what I do, in the bottom right hand corner, hit the red subscribe button. I sure would appreciate it, as I'm still trying to grow my channel. And so let's go ahead and get started with that intro riff. So, the intro riff, we have a lot of this, which is an 8th note pattern, all downstrokes. And we're muting that open A string. So, muting is really, really important. If you're a beginner guitar player, then you know the strings that you mute are just as important as the strings that you want to sound, you want to play, you want to make really clear. So, depending on where you place your palm back here on the bridge is going to change the sound. So if I, here, kind of a nice tight metal sound, but if I get my palm too far back, you get this. So you're not gonna, it's not gonna sound like what the album sounds like. So you're gonna have to kind of play around with positioning your palm. So you can kind of tell the further I move it back, the worse. Same thing if you get it too far up, you don't get it. So the kind of happy spot is just laying your palm right across where the strings kind of guide through on the bridge. Okay, so let me play the intro riff for you slowly. Okay, so we've got, starting off, we're doing, a A5 chord. So it's 1, 2, palm mutes on the open A. And then we're going to shift down here to the 5th position, 5th fret. We're going to be fretting the D string and the G string on the 5th fret. I'm grabbing it with my middle finger here on the D, my ring finger on the G. And if I go ahead and position my first finger up here on the 4th fret, we can get this other chord. So, and you kind of see all I'm doing is just lifting up my ring finger. So we have this so far. At that part, we're starting here on this major 3rd interval, so this is a 5th fret of the D, 4th fret of the G, and then we're going to put the ring finger down, play the 5th fret of the D and the G, and then we're going to shift up 2 frets, and that's our whole step, and we're going to play those same strings in the 7th position. Okay, so that's D, G, 7th fret. So we have this so far. Back to the A5. Okay, the only thing I added different there is I'm playing the open D and G string as a chord. Okay, so if we're talking intervals, this will be a perfect 4th interval, major 3rd interval, perfect 4th interval, and then we're going to play the open D and G. Let's go back again. Repeat. So how we play that last, the chords haven't changed, but how we play them is going to be different. We're going to let those ring out. We're not doing the palm mute, so we're going 5th fret, D and G, pick up the ring finger to the 4th fret, and then finish with the open D and G string. And then we're back to the A5. as we head into the verses, all these are basically 5 chords or bar chords or power chords. So the first one's going to be A5, so just like we played there in the beginning. So open A string, you can lay your first finger across the D and G string on the 2nd fret, or you can grab it here. Some people will even grab it like this, so it's just whatever's comfortable for you. So A5 to C5, that's going to be 3rd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D string, to G5, 3rd fret of the low E, 5th fret of the A, back to the A5. So we have this so far. Back to A. Then we're going to add a chord, F5. And that's going to be 1st fret of the low E string, 3rd fret of the A string. F5, back to G5 again, and back to A5. Then we're going to repeat this again. I'll play it time now. And you can see there's just one down strum. So if you are a newer guitar player and you're trying to get your bar chords down and be able to move them around, this is an excellent song for that, because it kind of gives you some time. You can 2, 3. You don't have to switch the chords so fast. So the first verse and second verse are identical, so there's nothing different there. So if you know the first verse, you know the second one. So we're going to go ahead and go to the chorus. Chorus is again going to be some 5 chords. So we're going to start with an E5. And I'm just fretting on the 2nd fret of the A string and playing the open E. Then we're going to go to the D, and that's going to be open D string. First finger on the 2nd fret of the G. You can put your middle finger here on the 3rd fret of the B string, or your ring finger, whatever is easiest. But you're going to play D, G, and B together, and then come back to the A, A5. So it's notice there when we switch from that D to the A, that A, we're kind of sitting on that A5 chord, so we play that twice. Then we come back and only play it once before we get back to the E5. So let's go over that slowly again. So E5, D, A, D, A, E. Repeat it again. This is the chords right before we go back into the intro riff, and we're finishing up the chorus. So we go to C5, so that's 3rd fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, G5, 3rd fret of the low E, 5th fret of the A, and then back to the intro riff. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the bridge. So we're going to pretend we went through the entire 2nd verse, and we're so we'll go into the chorus. Go back into the riff. Okay, so instead of how we came out of that before and went into that A5, we're going into the B. Okay, so this is the bridge. So 2nd fret of the A string, 4th fret of the D string, B5 to D5, so that's 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D, then to A5, open A, fretting on the 2nd fret of the D. So we have this. So the guitar solo is a harmony guitar solo, and Glenn and KK, tons of of Priest harmony guitar solos, kind of like how Thin Lizzy, they used to do a lot of harmony guitar solos. Really cool stuff. I'm going to show you both parts. If you're a single guitar player, you're not going to be playing with anybody else. You just pick the parts you enjoy, or you can mix it up. So the first part is so we're going to be here on the 9th fret of the D, and we're playing, that's a B note, an E note, and a D note. So this is going to, 9th fret of the D, 9th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G. So, okay. Now we're going to do a bend. So when we're here on the 9th fret of the G string, we're bending. It's going to be a whole step up, a whole step bend. That means 2 frets. So that's the note you're trying to bend to. So you can kind of see I'm taking the note up a whole step, and I'm also allowing the note to come back down. And then we're going to do it again. This time we bend up, release, come back to the 7th fret of the G. So nine, 7, back to the 9, and then we stop that string. So it's right before you go to that last bend, bend up, and then we bend up again. And then of course at the very top you can do some vibrato if you want to. So, or you can just get to the, if you're new to lead guitar playing, just get to the note, Then we go up, and that's going to be all on the G string, 11th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret. So come back to the 9th fret of the D. So it's the same melody, except when we end that, we're just bending it up a full bend, a full whole step bend, and then we're just kind of rocking back and forth. And then right before you go back into the 3rd verse, you're doing I'm sorry. Okay, so when you're into the actual bass part underneath that rhythm guitar is actually I'll play it for you. And then right before you go into that 3rd verse, we're just riding that B. And then you can, after that solo, you can grab it here on the 7th fret of the D and G. So it's just, and then up to the A5, and then you repeat again. So we have. That's the main melody line. Now I'm going to play the harmony part that goes with that. So we're going to start that on the 9th fret of the G string. It's going to be, so it's the same melody, just different frets, different strings. So 9th fret, 10th fret of the B, 8th fret of the B. Then you're going to bend up here at the 10th fret. Same thing like you did up here, so to bend up and then let it come back down. And you're going to come back from 10 to 8. And then bend up again. And you can do vibrato if you want. And then you're doing a, now that's going to be 12, 10, 8 on the B string. Repeat again. So it's a, come closer to that as well. So.